Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the time is, wherever you are. Welcome to the second episode of the Brunch Blacks Show. I'm still your host, Tsulo Raboto. This is still a safe space for unsafe opinions. Welcome to Brunch with the Blacks. So for brunch today, we have singer, songwriter, music creator Amara Fleur joining us. Musician, songwriter, events coordinator, the guy you call for everything, BigStar Johnson, and freelance writer, all-round amazing human being, Refilwe Boikanyo. So guys, we all know about the phenomenon of baby mama drama, right? Two people have a baby and we don't know what happens, but we just know there's a lot of tension and people are always fighting. But nobody actually ever speaks about baby daddy drama. Yes, you know, and a lot of us experience it, right? We have friends, we have colleagues. There's always a girl somewhere who's always sharing a story about this guy, you know, and there's no way to get rid of this guy. You guys are basically stuck together for the rest of your lives, you know. I know that one thing that's always a recurring conversation is usually when the baby mama gets into a new relationship.
That's a tricky one.
Baby mama gets into a relationship, you and I are over, I met a new man, you know, new man is consistent, he's the guy, right? And it gets to a point where he might start spending time around your child.
That's the issue.
Why is it an issue?
Yes, actually, let's
Why is it an
the
issue?
That's the problem. I think that's the hardest thing for a nigga to accept. Is somebody else being called dad.
Especially if you're showing up.
Exactly.
Especially if you're showing up.
Exactly. If you're there showing up, I think it's one of the most challenging things you guys.
But I think if you're showing up, then your child's not going to be calling somebody else back, right?
So maybe it's an
If
ego
you're showing
thing.
up, I'm just saying, if you're showing up, I doubt that's going to happen. I think your child will make the distinction. And it's probably going to be tricky for the new guy, don't you think, if you are showing up?
Okay, look, there's three sides to it. Yeah.
Your story, my story, and the truth. Yeah, but it's always it's always tricky waters to maneuver through. I think for everybody involved, because also, what if the relationship doesn't work?
Yes, with the new guy.
With the new guy,
Exactly.
and your child
There's
is
another
used to
guy.
this guy,
Exactly.
right? What happens in an instant where the baby daddy moves on? He has somebody new in his life, right? Half the time, that's never actually a problem for anyone.
Yeah.
You accept. I think you accept. You just get to a point where
Women can accept.
women can accept. Like when your baby daddy moves on and gets another person, another girlfriend, wife, whatever, you get to a point where it's okay. Our thing is done. We're raising a child together.
Yeah.
That's how.
Yeah. Between accepting, okay, so there's accepting and moving on, and there's also just being realistic. I think mothers are, at the end of the day, you're like, I need to mother. So I don't have
First
time
priority.
to be fighting with this person who is now in this man's life. Like the child gets neglected in that whole situation. So I think it is the fact that I guess mothers are able to put their pride or ego aside, whatever you want to call it, and be like, at the end of the day, we're done,
Priorities.
and we need to just deal with that, you know?
Mm.
Whereas I think men kind of struggle with that because it's like, I need her to just constantly be in my space, or whether she's here or not, she must just be there. Like if I need to bother her, she must be botherable, if that's even a word.
Yeah.
Yes, like I must be able to bother her, and if she's busy with someone else, I can't bother her. And it's not about the child, it's just about them, which is a little bit selfish.
I think you get to a point where you realize that co-parenting needs a lot of maturity. A lot of maturity. Like you have to constantly be prioritizing the child because it's not about you guys anymore.
It's not.
Whatever beef you guys had, like if you guys are not together anymore, who said what, who did what to who, it's not about that. Now there's a person, and we're supposed to be raising this person. How are we maneuvering around? But somebody said something very important the other day. They were like, men have this issue of not. So men are expected to not show emotion, not show feeling, right? And you get to a point as a man where you're faced with a life situation that requires you to feel whatever you're feeling or hurt and whatnot. But half the time in situations where there's baby mama and a baby daddy situation, the lashing out happens there, where now he feels maybe sometimes trapped. You know, this is not the person I wanted to have a child with.
Yeah.
But we're here now. It's whatever. But why are you causing drama? Why are you causing trouble? Why aren't you also accepting horror? Okay, sure. Maybe it was a one-night stand. Maybe it was, it's a one-time condom broke or whatever. But you are here now. Accept the fact that this is the situation.
Like I think the way you put it, it's the truth. Like niggas don't know how to express.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how to say what we feel. We don't know how to show love. We don't know how to just put it out there. So, but it's a conversation that we're having now as niggas, and I do think we are growing and changing. But I think it's that the trap of feeling like I don't know how to express my feelings, and my partner is always going to be that person hitting me with questions directly.
Yeah.
You hitting me, like you know, so I don't know how to get out of this. You hitting me.
Yeah.
I think that could be it. We just got to learn how to express ourselves. It's tricky. It's a slippery slope because we also check our fathers, our grandfathers, their fathers. So our examples are very
Tricky.
There's a conditioning.
Yeah.
There's a conditioning. Generational conditioning.
100%.
Jesus.
It's crazy. So learn how to.
But in that conditioning, did you see a lot of men who had moved on? Like, was it a lot of co-parenting? Did you see a lot of co-parenting sort of situation? Or was it single mothers or families? Was that the two options?
No, I think
Because I feel like a lot of people haven't seen that model of co-parenting enough. I think it's usually a single mom and the dad's not there, or it's a family unit. And I think a lot of people don't have great examples of this is co-parenting and it works.
That is so true.
I think it's usually maybe your white friends who you see that
it's a huge
relationship.
thing. Yeah, 100%.
Don't you think?
100%.
I think that's also the issue as well. It's like they don't see this enough.
It is an
It's
example.
either you're out or you're in, and if you're in, like you're fully in, we're married, or
100%.
we're living together, or you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
So that's so interesting because I can only imagine we are growing up in a society where we're trying to get better. We're trying to be better parents, trying to be better girlfriends, trying to be better friends. So we're constantly re-evaluating things and being like, okay, does this still fit in, does it not? But it always looks like it happens more to women than it does to men. It's like men just get along. Like as long as we move, whereas the woman is the one who's here like, yo, okay, I got pregnant. Half the time, you went through that pregnancy by yourself. After that, you have to deal with that resentment. Nobody's gonna baby you, because there's a baby now. The baby's here. There's no time for anyone to coddle your emotions. Your baby daddy's probably wherever, doing whatever. And you here.
Oh, wow. Where was touched?
A very big thank you to the Great Gatsby Guest House in Houghton for hosting us for brunch today. You can follow them on Instagram at Great Gatsby Guest House and visit their website at www.greatgatsbybyhoughton.com. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So you here footing the bill, and I'm like, how are you just living?
Also without that
No
feeling,
sense. Akona zaganyana of 500. And in that situation as a woman, there's no backing out. You can't be a deadbeat.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't just be like, actually, hey man, this thing is stressing me. I'm out. It's you forced to now just move with the situation.
100%.
There's a baby here. I'm taking care of the baby. You also have to work because you have to make money. This guy is not playing his part. You have to make money. Or in situations where this guy is financially responsible, but he's never present.
Yeah.
And it's
it's again the black and white that we were talking about previously, where it's okay, it's either you're in it or you're not. Now it's I'm giving you money every month. Why do I need to be there?
What more do you want?
I am present. Or it's like I visit the child every so often. I don't have money, but look, they know who I am. So there's never, I don't think, we deal with a lot of trying to convince people to understand that it can't be one or the other. You've got to try and figure out how to make everything happen together. Because mothers are making everything happen together. You're working, you're picking up your child, you are squeezing in your personal life, a social life. you feel bad for having a social life because you're like, okay, but now you're finding ways to do it all, right? Like, it's like, come on, Dad.
There's a whole transition.
Yes.
There's a whole transition that happens.
Can I ask, wait, do you guys get taught this stuff? Like, do you have these conversations prior to having a kid? Like with mothers and each other and sisters and...
For me, I think you just see, you experience it. So from my personal experience, you grow up to that, right? Where maybe your father's not 100% present, but your mother always shows up. That teaches you as a woman that is my job. There's also conditioning that happens. That as a woman, and it's not something that's communicated. It's not like you wake up and you tell yourself, oh, when I grow up, you just ease into it when you get into womanhood, where you are like, my mother was a strong woman. She, whether there was a man or not, my mother got things done. That's the kind of woman that you become, right? You meet somebody, you guys have a child or whatever. I think it has to happen for you. It happened to you for you to comprehend how hectic a situation between two people who are co-parenting happens. So let's say, for instance, your parents are married.
Sure.
Right? You have a child with this guy. It doesn't work out.
True.
He dips.
True.
There's no, mother, he left you. No. What did you see your mother do? I get your mother she was there. She was handling stuff at home. She was there. So that's what you do, like automatically. And I also think you don't have a choice as a parent. You know, that's what I'm saying. As a mother, there's no actually deadbeat.
I hate it.
There is no such thing. Some tweet the other day. Some girl is saying, December, the father protection order.
Yeah.
Just like I think that's the best way. I'm going to enjoy my December. I'm just gonna get both of them a protection order and keep it moving. You know. So for us women, you don't have that option to opt out. You are inside.
But I think that's why men are so comfortable. I think for them it's just like the woman are the safety blanket. I think a lot of men when they think, oh, we're gonna keep the child, they just look at the woman like, you know what, even if I don't really, even if I aspire to, but I don't really, I know this person well. I think that's where the complacency comes in, is that they feel like the woman, regardless of what happens, she's gonna sort it out. Even if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, she's gonna fix it. And I think women don't have that option.
Because who's gonna fix it if you don't?
Because if you don't, and then what?
That's true.
You get ostracized. I know few women who, they had kids and they're like, I'm not really maternal, I'm not. And even just in terms of the careers they've had and the lives they were living, they were like, I need to travel, I need to, months in the year they're not around. And when the baby's young, it's like, okay, maybe, it's okay. But as they get older, they start getting judged quite a lot about the fact that they're not as present, and they're like, but I'm the only parent in the situation and I also need to provide. But if a man was living that type of life where he's traveling a lot and he's quite successful in his career but he's not physically there, they don't get that. They're just they're like, he's able to take the child to the private schools, he's able to do all these things and they congratulate it. But when a woman does that, they're still judged on the other things they're not doing as well.
I'm not gonna say you cap them. It's not cap. But I've had a situation where I knew somebody who, after splitting up, the father wanted to keep the kid, and the mother was like, that's not gonna happen. And that, it's a dumb thing that guys do, I'm trying to say, but that thing of like, oh, okay, so you want this, you know what I'm trying to say, because especially when you get to a point where it's real beef, you guys are not getting along. It's like, okay, give me my kid. I'll take care of my kid. And she'll be like, nah. And then it's tricky.
I can't relate.
What do you do in that situation? Like, if a guy's like, someone like, it's all like a pillar. I mean, we do know situations like that, where a woman is actually, that's a good idea. Actually, I'm not gonna be forced and locked down into a situation that doesn't go with my personal life, because that's also a thing. Because there's always that period where after you have a child, you have to rediscover yourself as a woman, as an individual, right? Because you've gone through so much. Pregnancy's done now. The baby's here now. You're a mother now. It's After all of that is done, when you start now going out with your friends and getting back into your group, you have to rediscover yourself, because that whole tension, that fighting, it changes you as a person. It changes your outlook on relationships now. You know, like you meet men now, and it's just like the man's like, "Hi, my name is Omaka."
And you're like, no.
Omaka.
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 Hey,
can I Omaka. The last guy who said,
what are you doing here?
yes, the last guy who said, "Hey, my name is," left me with the baby. So Omaka, wait, no, Omaka. You know, so it changes you as a person. You come out as a new human being, and because you're so busy raising a baby by yourself, it's tricky. There's a whole journey of rediscovery as well that you go through, and your relationship with men changes. I don't think men understand how much baby daddy drama changes your outlook on men as a woman. Yeah. There's always that fear when you get into a relationship and this guy looks serious. This guy looks like, and it's like,
why do you want to be serious? What are you gonna do?
I know this thing.
I know this. The
I know.
also came at me like,
you understand?
You know?
And it's so crazy because half the time it also has everything to do with the kind of relationship you have with the woman.
Yeah.
That's why you have men who, he can be a baby daddy of, let's say, 3, right? He gets along with the 2. He's present in their lives. You guys clash like nobody's business. He neglects your child. Why? Because how do I deal with it? And it's like, how? What was the thinking process in saying I'm going to abandon my child because I'm not getting along with the mother of my child?
But that's the problem. I find that, and I've seen it with other friends as well, where when there's no relationship anymore, it's like the guy sees the child and the mother as one thing. You don't look at your child as a completely separate human being. They are literally an extension of the mother. So if you are beefing with mom, you're like, fuck both of you. Fuck off. You'll figure yourselves out, you know? And it's like really messed up, right? Because the child is being, it's fine, let's fight, it's okay, but please don't neglect your duties, especially now if you're looking at it from the perspective that you're stating now, where it's like there are other children who are being loved and taken care of. They're going to notice. They might even end up at the same schools, in the same we live in a very small world. Our children will find each other, and when they realize that they share a parent and they are not experiencing what their siblings are experiencing, it does so much damage. And that's why I'm just like, why don't you, it's important that when the end of a relationship happens and there's a child involved, don't put mom and baby in one little bubble and assume that you need to drop everything.
Do you guys have, okay, after the breakup, do you guys sit down and have conversations? All the mothers that you know? About, I'm just saying, I just feel like a lot of people, they break up and then they just, I don't know, my situation is quite different. I feel like the father of my child, post us breaking up, things got better. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. Things got
and
better.
there's always that
better. To me, things got better.
That happen too.
And you guys become friends, and it's just like, what were we doing in a relationship?
I want to know
what
the relationship was the issue. I'm saying I feel like the relationship was the issue. And the pressure and all of the stuff. I think the desire to be the father was there. And yes, in the beginning, the desire for us to be together was there. Right? And then things happen.
That's
and
also
then now you're staying in a relationship for the child. And then that's where a lot of people, I feel like the resentment happens. Because the child happened, but the desire to be together is not there anymore. But the pressure of you've got a child together is there. And then they stay together. And that's when things get messed up and they stay too long. So by the time somebody leaves, the relationship is broken. And then you guys are not having the discussion of what is our common, do we have a common goal? And the common goal is to raise our child in the best way we can. I don't think those conversations are happening.
They're not.
And I don't think boundaries are put in place as well. For me, it's like, I had to make it very clear when the breakup happened. I'm like, for a period of time, I'm not gonna be around. You guys are gonna spend time together without me. You guys need to get used to having a relationship that doesn't depend on me. Your relationship needs to continue without me. And I think in the beginning, it has to happen because somebody's feelings are still in it. So you have to create those boundaries in the beginning because somebody's feelings are still in it. I feel like for as long as somebody's still in love with somebody, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
This
have to put in
the boundaries.
These ways of blocking. It's like maybe don't come in the house. I'll
come outside.
You know what I mean? Maybe don't, and you must do that for a while until your boundaries have been established.
I think another important thing that you mentioned, Refilwe, is the desire to be a father. I think that also plays quite a substantial role in how you're gonna co-parent with somebody, right? So if we meet and we're in a relationship, obviously there's a discussion. We want a baby, whatnot. If we hook up, we hope. If we hook up, and as I said, mistakes happen. Condom broke, we didn't use protection, whatever the case may be. First of all, you have to deal with the fact that I'm having a child with somebody I don't know.
Boom.
Secondly, in all my relationships, I've always said, I don't want a baby. I don't want a child. I don't want to be a father. That's me. And half the time it's always I saw how my father was, so I don't want to be that guy, right? And I think it's one thing that we overlook as time goes on. Maybe one of the causes of your guys' baby daddy drama is the fact that maybe this guy didn't want to be a dad. You know? Because if you get a girl pregnant, she has the decision.
100%.
If she says we're keeping it, that's what's happening. Now you're forced into the situation. You know, if you want to keep the baby and she wants to terminate, you don't have a say in that. You know? The one that got away. Go try again later, sir. Not around these blocks. One thing that I've also noticed is the terms. The terms play a very big role. So if you're in a relationship, you guys break up, you're the mother of my child. If we don't get along, you're the baby mama.
I've never
There's a certain level of respect.
To myself.
As a baby mama.
Or be referred to. I personally feel like it is. I feel like it is. I feel like we internalize too much of American culture, guys. And if you look at that, the ways we got to learn these terms from baby mama, body love and hip hop, Atlanta, ratchetness. I'm sorry, dude, I want to associate myself with that. I don't. I've never heard anyone say baby mama and they meant it in like
a positive way.
During ways.
Yes.
I don't. I mean, unless maybe there's a song or something. I don't know.
Mother. You know, if you don't want to say, if you
mama,
don't,
mama,
yes,
mama,
find a way. Yes,
you know,
right?
I wanted to. That's education. Thank you very much. But I wanted to touch on what you were saying about the desire, right, to be a father. I think, in my experience, like especially talking to a lot of guys in the streets, that you can have the desire to be a father, and yes, the situation gets complicated. The solution, this is like literally the solution that you hear in the streets, you know, from our fathers, is that no, vibe. That child will come back and look for you.
Yo.
Like I swear.
That is deep, really?
Yeah, that's like, it's like, no, the child will know home. So even if the mother's crazy and what, one day, this child will come looking for you because you're the father.
But the crazy thing is kids grow up and then they realize who is the crazy one, right? You can be like, Papa how, and you know, you're just talking mad, moving mad, and your child is like, you know, feeling like, oh, my dad. But later you grow up and you realize you're like, actually, my mom made it difficult.
Exactly.
You know, one thing I picked up.
You see,
I was like, so you have guys who grew up without fathers, right? You'd expect their thinking is, one day I'm gonna be a dad and I'm gonna be a good dad, I'm gonna be present because I didn't experience that. I was having a conversation the other day, I'm like, one thing that we overlook is the fact that this guy never had that model.
Yes.
a long way.
Half the time when a guy decides to dip, he comes from that background.
100%.
He didn't stay because he does not know the importance of a father in a household.
Yeah.
100%.
So even if he grows up and he says, I don't want to be like my father, like a very few men, very small percentage of men will be like, listen, I'm going to change the narrative. Yeah. I'm going to change the narrative, right? But the bigger part of population, it's all, and I'm like, but why are we surprised when these guys dip? When you meet a man, he's like, my father wasn't in my life, and he's not present. Why are we surprised? He doesn't know the importance.
100%.
He's never had that man in that. And even though if he had uncles and whatnot, it was not the same. You know, it's like when you're a single parent trying to parent a son. You're like, oh, I'm gonna love him or not. It's not the same experience.
Sure.
And half the time, kids will go find their fathers because why? That connection. I never had that. I want to experience that. And it's like, this guy left.
But I feel like it goes in different ways. I think I've experienced a lot of men who also didn't have fathers, even through my friends. And it's either they're gonna be a deadbeat, and then they're the ones who are like, you know what, I don't want to be like my dad. Yeah. I want to do better, right? But because they never had the father, their idea of what the father is and does is a little bit like not fully developed. So they're like, I want to be the father, right? and I want to be better than my dad. And then they're trying, but they're not really understanding that it's not just about I'm gonna work so hard and I'm gonna provide. You gotta be physically there, you know what I mean? Emotionally, you have to be there for your child. So there's aspects of it that they don't fully understand, that because they didn't experience it, they didn't see it. So for them, it's like, okay, I don't want to be like my dad. And what were the other dads doing? Oh, they were, my mom, for instance, wouldn't be alone, struggling so hard to take me to school. Their dads were paying for things. They were taking them on holidays. So they do all that stuff. But they didn't see that other part of it of, you know, I have a son and they go through things and I'm teaching them of, this is how you treat, you know, a woman. This is right, this is wrong. This is how you behave. This is what a man does, you know, but women also have rights. And this is how, you know, even just seeing how they navigate, even the roles in the family, like how your mom and your dad interact. You know, and sometimes as much as indoor, yes, but your mom, if you really look at it, like, I think in South African culture, the woman is actually very strong. Extremely. Like, it's a very matriarchal society for a number of reasons. Even, you know, birthday people going to work, whatever. There's a lot of, you know, things, reasons. Maybe not culturally, but there's a lot of reasons, and I don't think they get to see that. So then even the idea of how a woman must be in a relationship, they think, oh, I don't know, people who are married, the mother behaves like this and she's soft and she's whatever, and what respect and whatever. And then they'll even come with these ideas of, oh, but you're not being respectful, you're not serving me like this, you're not treating me, and it's like, no, but I am being respectful. And if I look at my parents, you know, and I'm sorry, I do have both parents. So I get to see all these things. I see when it's happy, when it's sad, when they're fighting, you know, and then overcoming the conflict. Because a lot of our parents, even who are together, it's not happy all the time.
It's not.
You see a lot. And sometimes you even wonder, like, do these people still love each other?
Right.
Should they still be together? But they're still there, you know what I mean? And even seeing that thing of, we're going to fight, but tomorrow, we'll be sharp. And there's going to be an apology. And, you know, but now, because you don't see that, we're going to fight and then we're going to break up and then you're going to resent you forever. And then it's done. So you don't even learn conflicts. And how conflict resolution. You don't learn those things. That yes, I can love you, but I'm going to call you out. I'm going to tell you, like, yes, but the school fees, but when was the last time I want to have? You know what I mean? And you can't now come back and be like, oh, but I'm providing. It's like, I get that, but you're not doing the other aspect that you have to do. You have to do it.
Crazy.
Speaking on of children would always go look for their fathers. I once saw an episode,
So sad.
right? With this guy, years later, goes, finds his dad, and this guy was like, and like, oh, what, like,
Yo.
What, the dad?
This guy was like, what do you want?
Yo.
He was like, and like, sharp, your mother uncle that child because he feel shelter abortion. Why do I have to deal with this situation now? That guy was like, I go back then, no yan.
I'll get past that.
Yo, I was, and I'm like, but this is the thing, right? You knew when this man was like, he was like out. Your child grows up to be an adult and he goes and uses all the resources and finds him. You sit there as a mother and you know it's not gonna end well. You like, that guy made it very clear 30 years ago, like, don't give him my name, don't. Once again, you know? So the saddest thing is that after that happens, who has to deal with the aftermath?
The mother.
Now your child comes back, they're crying, he rejected me. And I think when you're 30 plus, it's different. When they're younger, it's heartbreaking. Something as simple as saying, I'm gonna come pick you up on Saturday for ice cream.
And you don't
And
pitch.
you don't pitch. They're excited, they're standing at the door. The outfit was laid out on the bed the night before. This is what I'm gonna wear when my dad comes and fetches me tomorrow. And you don't pitch. And as a mother, you're expected to let those things slide. Because if you speak up, baby mama drama. And it's like, no.
We're protecting a child.
Do you understand? Like, do the things that you said you're gonna do so that life can go on. And when you look at the stats in South Africa, we are embarrassing. One thing that we will do as a country is top the charts. We will top the charts. And never for the good things. Crime, we're up there. Unemployment, we're up there. Deadbeats, we're up there. Listen, Amapia, we're up there. We will top the charts in
That's not
everything.
embarrassing though.
At least there's one thing that we're getting right. But thank you so much, guys, for joining me for brunch. This was very amazing, very interesting opinions that we had there. I wish you guys all the best. in your respective careers, respective lives. I personally know that they're very cool people. So yeah, we're gonna drop their handles at the bottom where you guys can follow them, check out their lives. Because I know that Amara is doing very amazing stuff in music. BigStar, you just dropped a new music video.
Yes.
You just out here.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The remix is coming.
Ooh, with who? Who's on the remix?
Loki, Younger Chief, and Alkaline.
Oh.
Like the dancehall artist. Oh, sorry.
That used to be Reason.
Yeah.
So
Reason alkaline now.
Yes, he's Alkaline. That's not the
Is he making dancehall or what? What's the line? I'm a piano.
Yes.
Oh,
Hey.
Close, right?
Reason alkaline.
yes, he's Alkaline.
Okay.
And you excited?
Yeah.
Hey! Maybe next time you should, actually.
Yeah, we'll hit up.
Thank you very much for joining the Blacks for Brunch today. It was an amazing one. Thank you very much, guys, for coming. This is a wrap,
Thank
episode
you.
2.